In August of 2016, a woman in Greenville, South Carolina reported seeing a clown standing at the edge of the woods behind her apartment complex, trying to lure children into the trees. Within 8 weeks, that single sighting had triggered 12,000 separate clown reports across all 50 states and 10 countries. Schools closed. Police departments were overwhelmed. The FBI opened a file. But to understand why this happened, why a man in a clown suit standing in the woods sent an entire country into mass hysteria, you have to go back, much further back, to where the fear of clowns actually began. The word clown first appeared in English around 1560. It referred to a rural peasant, someone unsophisticated, clumsy, and out of place. By the 1700s, European traveling circuses had transformed the clown into a theatrical character. A bumbling fool whose job was to make audiences laugh by being humiliated. He fell down. He got hit. He was always the victim of every joke. He was harmless. He was funny. He was safe. For roughly 200 years, the clown remained exactly that, safe. Then, in 1869, a French mime named Jean-Gaspard Deburau, who had been famous for his gentle, white-faced clown character called Pierrot, was revealed to have beaten a young boy to death with his walking stick after the boy insulted him on the street. Deburau was acquitted, but the revelation shattered something. Here was the smiling, white-faced clown, the harmless buffoon, and beneath the paint he had killed a child. It was the first crack in the mask. Over the following decades, the clown character began to shift in literature and art. Italian opera gave the world Pagliacci in 1892, a clown who murders his wife in a jealous rage while still in full costume and makeup. The audience doesn't know if his crying is part of the performance or real. The image of the weeping clown hiding genuine darkness beneath painted happiness became one of the most enduring images in Western culture. But it was still fiction, still art, still safely contained within the stage. Then came John Wayne Gacy. Between 1972 and 1978, in Cook County, Illinois, a man named John Wayne Gacy murdered 33 young men and boys. He buried 26 of them under his house. He was a well-liked man in his community. He hosted neighborhood parties. He performed at children's hospitals and charity events as a self-created character he called Pogo the Clown. A smiling painted face, a colorful costume, balloon animals for the kids. When Gacy was arrested in December of 1978 and his crimes became public knowledge, something broke permanently in the American psyche. The clown was no longer just a fictional villain. The clown was a real one. A man who had hidden the worst thing imaginable beneath the most cartoonishly harmless costume ever invented. After Gacy, the clown was never the same. In 1986, Stephen King published IT, a novel about a shape-shifting entity that chose the form of a clown named Pennywise because it understood something fundamental about human fear. It chose the clown because the clown is already wrong. The smile is painted on. The eyes don't match the mouth. The behavior is unpredictable. You are supposed to laugh, but something in your body says run. King didn't create the fear of clowns. He simply named what was already there. The clinical term is coulrophobia, an intense and irrational fear of clowns. Research published in 2022 by the University of South Wales surveyed 987 people across 64 countries and found that 53.5% of participants reported being at least somewhat afraid of clowns. More than half of the people surveyed, across every age group, across every culture. The researchers identified the specific elements that trigger the fear. The painted smile that doesn't move. The exaggerated features that look almost human but not quite. What scientists call the uncanny valley effect. The unpredictability of clown behavior. The costume that conceals identity completely. You cannot read a clown. You cannot predict a clown. And you cannot know who is underneath. That is what makes them terrifying. Not the red nose, not the big shoes. The fact that you cannot see their face. Which brings us back to August 2016. On August 21, 2016, the first report came in from Greenville, South Carolina. A woman named Donna Arnold reported to police that clowns had been trying to lure children into the Fleetwood Manor apartment woods with money and lights. She said she had seen multiple clowns near a pond in the woods. Her son confirmed the sighting. Police investigated it. They found nothing. But the report was picked up by local media, and then national media. And something happened that nobody fully anticipated. People started seeing clowns everywhere. Within days, reports came in from neighboring counties in South Carolina, then from North Carolina, then Georgia, then Tennessee. Within 3 weeks, the sightings had spread to 40 states. By October, the reports numbered in the thousands. Schools across the country went into lockdown after receiving clown threats. A school in Pennsylvania was evacuated after a student reported a clown in the hallway. McDonald's quietly retired Ronald McDonald during the peak of the hysteria to avoid escalating public fear. Law enforcement agencies across the country scrambled to respond. Police in multiple states arrested people dressed as clowns for making threats or disturbing the peace. In Reading, Pennsylvania on October 4, 2016, a 19-year-old was arrested for chasing a group of children while wearing a clown mask. In Columbus, Ohio, a man in a clown suit was arrested after jumping out at passing cars on a highway. The FBI and Department of Homeland Security issued a joint statement on October 7, 2016, acknowledging the nationwide clown phenomenon and warning that any clown sighting near a school would be treated as a credible threat. Professional clowns, actual performers who made their living entertaining at children's parties and corporate events, reported a complete collapse of their bookings. The World Clown Association issued a public statement saying that real clowns were being unfairly targeted by the hysteria. Several professional clowns reported being followed, threatened, and in one case physically assaulted by people who saw their costume and panicked. By November 2016, the sightings had largely stopped. Halloween came and went. The news cycle moved on. And just as suddenly as it had begun, the Great Clown Panic of 2016 was over. Researchers and psychologists spent the following years trying to explain what had happened. How a single report from a woman in South Carolina had triggered a nationwide mass hysteria that lasted 2 months and involved tens of thousands of people across dozens of countries. The answer they came back to was simple. The fear was already there. It had been building for decades. Gacy put it there. King named it. 100 horror films reinforced it. And then social media, which didn't exist during any previous mass hysteria event in American history, gave it a way to spread at a speed that nothing could contain. The clown standing in the woods in Greenville, South Carolina didn't create anything. He just opened a door that had been waiting to be opened. As of today, the original Greenville clown sighting has never been definitively explained. No one was ever charged. No one ever came forward to claim responsibility. The woman who made the report stood by her account. The police found nothing. Somewhere out there, if her account was true, the original clown is still walking around. Still knows exactly what he did. Still knows that one night in a South Carolina apartment complex, he changed something permanently. He stood at the edge of the woods with money and lights. And the whole world looked. And the whole world was afraid.